it helps in building on that. You've said government should prioritize, but this is something we've spoken about for all this while. It is not changing. How different must things be now to ensure that it doesn't all end at just talking, but in fact things change? All right, so unfortunately, Mr. Asare is gone, but we are grateful to him for joining us, and to Dr. Isaac Owusu as well, the president of NAT. Now, the head of corporate communications with the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, Ali Simon Jarana, has successfully joined us now, so would return to the earlier story there. Mr. Jarana, good evening. Thanks very much for your time. I was asking that what remarkable achievement or development has any of the utilities undertaken since the last increment that has benefited the consumer, such that the consumer should agree to the the ones that they're asking for now?
Well, let me say very quickly to you and to your production team and to our descending viewers. As a matter of fact, if I say that they have done A, B, C, D, and Z to warrant either an increment or a reduction, or to warrant what they are proposing to PURC, I think I'll be jumping the gun. There is a procedure in tariff determination backed by law, backed by the very Act 538 that establishes PURC. And the Commission is following through that procedure in the tariff determination. One is that we call for proposals. The proposals have come. The proposals are now put before stakeholders. We have identified stakeholders that we are engaging. So we have started with the stakeholder engagement. Tomorrow, for instance, we'll be engaging the media, the various think tanks. Letters have been sent out, and then they are aware we are engaging them tomorrow. Today, for instance, we engage development partners. We are engaging Minister of Energy. We have engaged the Parliamentary Select Committee on Mines and Energy, etc., etc.
So Mr. Jana, these engagements are geared towards getting to the final destination as to whether you agree and the sort of increment we give. But the ordinary Ghanaian will say that there's been a lot of inefficiencies in the system. How are these being addressed just so the consumer will feel that even if I pay more, I'll get better services? These are things that people don't get.
Yes, and these are all proposals as we speak right now. ECG is proposing an increase of 148%. That is not the end tariff. The end tariff is what the consumer is actually looking out for. And the end tariff is determined by looking at a summation of the bulk generation tariff, the transmission service tariff. You are looking at the distribution taxes and levies. So we are not yet there. It's a procedure. And then the PURC has since not announced tariffs as we speak right now. These remain proposals from the various utilities, i.e. Gridco, Netco, VRA, etc., etc.
Yeah, we understand these are proposals, but were you able to question them on, for example, we know that some of these state entities are owing huge sums and they haven't been able to pay. So there are more monies that they need to recover. They haven't. How does it then become the burden for the other consumer who pays his or her bill for them to carry on more? So this company is coming to ask for increment. How have you been able to ask them to justify all of these to compel us to also agree that, okay, let's agree to an increase?
That is the reason we are doing the stakeholder engagement. You, the media, will be engaged tomorrow, for instance. The development partners have been engaged. Questions have been asked. And quite apart from, there are a lot of factors that come in the determination of tariff. We are also looking at, as a regulator, we are looking at our regulatory benchmark, whether they meet our regulatory benchmark or not in terms of technical and commercial losses. That's the key factor. We're also looking at the interest of the investor community. Then the interest of the consumer is so key and dear to the heart of the Commission. That is what we are looking at. There are several other factors that we are going to consider in determining the end user tariff. But for now, like I indicated earlier on, PURC has not announced tariffs. We are currently doing stakeholder engagement.
Okay, so we are still at the engagement stage. So when you look at the benchmark you spoke about, Do these entities qualify for an upward adjustment?
Regarding the benchmarks are being, their proposals are being compared with the benchmarks we have. A determination has not been done yet. After the consultation, then these proposals would then be referred to the technical committee. Then the technical committee will look at, for instance, what are their technical laws, what is the regulatory benchmark, what are their commercial laws, what is the regulatory benchmark. Then they will do these computations and come out with a final end user tariff.
Well, but these are the same issues that we talk about every year when or anytime there's an adjustment. And then we talk about, inefficiencies in the system. But if their claim is about matching up tariffs to cost and quality of service, why not allow for more private participation in the utility space to bring competition?
Well, like I indicated, their inefficiencies is not only it's not the only factor that's used in the determination of tariffs. There are other several factors, and I don't know why you are bent on talking about inefficiency. Because
that is what most Ghanaians talk about. For example, if we have state-owned enterprises who owe the ECG millions of Ghana cedis and they are not collecting, if we hear about system losses, all these things are not corrected, and every time there has to be an upward adjustment. That's the issue that the ordinary Ghanaian is talking about, and that's why I'm asking these. Have we been able to correct the basics?
Yes, and I'm telling you that all of these regulatory benchmarks are going to be considered in the computation of the end user tariff. Here we are looking at the end user tariff, and we are not looking at the proposal that have been submitted before PURC. I don't know, all of these indicators, like I said, we are looking at the exchange rate, we are looking at inflation, we are looking at regulatory benchmarks, we are looking at the interest of the investor community, we are also looking at the interest of the consumer. These are a few of the indicators we'll be considering in the final determination of an end user tariff. And our emphasis here is end user tariff.
Okay. All right. I'm grateful to you, sir, for joining us. Ali Simon Jarana is Head of Communications at the Public Utility Regulatory Commission, the PRC. Now, still to come, if you are making a long journey with a means of public transport, chances are your driver is high on drugs.
If you don't smoke, you can't do this work. The work is hard, and for you to be able to cover several round trips, you will have to smoke weed to make you feel high.